Good morning, chat. Again, just me talking to myself, but good morning. Good morning, Cut the Mic. How are you? I'm a little hungover at the moment. Was not paying attention to how much I was drinking last night, and I'm getting old. I'll probably lurk in this one. I'm doing something right now. Good to see you, Lucas. No worries. Appreciate the lurk. On this rainy Saturday morning. It's raining where you are. It's raining here in New York City. Shitty day for the 4th of July holiday. But that's alright because fuck the celebration of America. We celebrated the only good holiday a couple weekends ago. Alright. I might get right into it today because, again, a little hungover. Not much to talk about. Hung out with some friends last night, and again, just not watching what I'm drinking. I need to fix the chat on here because names aren't coming up very well. You're only getting like the first 3 letters. Troubleshooting on the fly. All right, we're getting into it. Stephen Breyer did not retire yesterday. This was a tweet from Mehdi Hassan yesterday. So Stephen Breyer, our lovely 82-year-old, I believe he's 82, 83, I believe. 83-year-old Supreme Court Justice did not retire yesterday or a couple days ago at the end of the October 2020 Supreme Court term. It was his, pretty much last day to do so. And, he did not. So, we are stuck at least another year of Stephen Breyer on the court, if he survives. And, we might lose the midterm elections in 2022, no longer retain the Senate, and then we're fucked because anytime this guy croaks, it's just going to be, even if Biden, even if Biden is still president, there's no way that a Republican-held Senate lets any Supreme Court nominee go through, and that is going to be the norm for the foreseeable future. Democrats, hopefully, if given the opportunity, will participate in the same fucking practice. But we've seen the Democrats here, Democrats on the court, the liberals on the court. I honestly, I don't like calling them liberals because it continues to preserve this idea or this notion that the court's apolitical, and it adds fuel to the propaganda essentially that the court is putting out about itself, and it's not a partisan, an apolitical body, when we know that's just not true. And so calling them liberals or conservatives on the court doesn't do justice to the partisanship that is going on, and it continues to uphold that notion or idea that they're apolitical because we're not naming them by the parties, we're not identifying them by the party, but so we'll call them Democrats here. So the Democrats on the court need to get with the fucking program. And it's interesting that this idea of upholding the court as a political, not a political body, has largely been, it's been the goal or mission of the Roberts Court to bring that notion to light, focus on that notion, and I think or I wonder sometimes if this is some weird guilt that Roberts in particular had in the arguing in Bush v. Gore and kind of pushing the court to be political as an advocate and then as a Supreme Court as the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court, almost overcompensating for what he had done as an advocate in that 2000 court case. So then it's interesting to even graft politics on to the Supreme Court and to call Roberts a Republican. I guess at times is right, but he's very much a centrist, and it's been showing that in his juxtaposition in some of the more when the others on the court, the Trump appointees, kind of make more radical decisions. But so back to Breyer, it's like the Democrats and Roberts have this notion of upholding the notion that the court is apolitical. But the rest of the Republicans don't give a shit in both Congress and on the court. And historically happened. Anthony Kennedy knew that it was his time to step down because he wanted to be replaced by someone that was going to continue his legacy. But so they even understand legacy. They have this understanding of, it's no longer my time. Whereas the Democrats, and we saw this with RBG, and we're playing the fucking Obama greatest hits over here with Breyer. They're such egomaniacs that they think they are the one and only that could do it. And that's what we saw with RBG. Especially when she would say things like she had to remain on the court in order to teach the other women on the court how to be women of the court and how to advocate as like a feminist justice. How to navigate the politics within the courts, and that's just absolutely ridiculous. From two, established and established justices of the court. They made it to the justices to be justice of the Supreme Court. They know what they're fucking doing. They don't need your decrepit hand to fucking guide them. And so so this tweet by Mehdi here, Mehdi Hassan. Stephen Breyer didn't retire yesterday. Of course he didn't. He's like too many centrist establishment liberal white folks in this country. He doesn't think that there really is a threat to democracy or minority rights. And even if he accepts that there is, he ain't going to suffer from it. This is peak fucking lib brain. He doesn't need to retire until next summer. It's like, why give the Republicans such short a timeline? Like, Like, why? Why would you ever wait until the last minute? Why would you want to wait one more fucking year? You're 80 fucking 3 years old. Hypothetically, he could retire next summer, and it, and we could get another liberal appointee or a Democratic appointee, hypothetically. But we know that even if he retired right now, there's so many challenges from the fucking, you're gonna get challenges from the Senate that, the election was rigged and Joe Biden is an illegitimate president, and you can't appoint someone. All the fucking any tactic is gonna come out. So why crunch the timeline when you have the time and space to do it now, and you can work through those problems? Back to what Mehdi said. He doesn't think there's a threat to democracy or minority rights. And even if he does, it's virtue signaling, just like the rest of the centrist establishment. What is the thinking process? I do this better than any other judge, senator, etc. possibly could. Well, I don't understand this, Sam. I just want to get in their head. Why? If it's a safe move for your party / state, retire. Why is... whatever. Bad typos. Why would you stay when it's so important? Seems RGB would clearly show what could happen. The hubris is astonishing. And that sums it up. Because it's pure hubris and, like egomaniacal fucking bullshit. A little cringe limerick. There once was a justice named Breyer who thought it too political at 83 to retire. He was content to keep writing dissents, fiddling while America was on fire. Cringe, but sums it up. Because even while dissents are important, in a well-written dissent could be the new argument for a progressive or a change in the law. But the dissents that these guys are writing are purely, they need a fucking stream. Like, just give them a live stream that goes to no one, because all these people, all he wants to do in these dissents, and I'll just, where is it? I'll skip to this for a second. Something I wanted to cover later. This is a Kagan dissent that Breyer joined, but it took her like 12 pages to get into the analysis. Then when she started to get into the analysis, she re-quoted what the majority already quoted, which is just like unnecessary waste of space. Because you're just going to analyze it, like you're analyzing it differently, but whatever, that's a stylistic thing. I don't think it's necessary to be in there. But again, like 12, 13 pages to get to the fucking analysis. And even the analysis is like very long-winded, and it's not long-winded because of citations. Which, why is there a bid in here? That's not Blue Book. It's not long-winded because of long string cites or anything like that, where it's just, you're filling up the page with nonsense. It's writing. And this is what these justices are doing. There's so much dicta in these opinions. And it's a hallmark of the Roberts Court. Where the length of the opinions has... there was a study on it where these are some of the longest opinions on average of any court. And a lot of it's it's dicta, and arguably there's like more history to cover in certain cases, but a lot of the history is irrelevant and then poorly done. Antonin Scalia, notoriously poor historian. It's like, I had the same background in history as him, both a bachelor's in history, and I don't think I'm a historian like he thought he was a fucking historian. And just bad history. So he's also, Breyer has hired his 4 new clerks. Breyer has hired a full complement of 4 law clerks for the next Supreme Court term, the court confirmed on Friday, a possible signal that he doesn't have any immediate plans to retire. It's not a possible signal. He is not retiring. He is going to continue, at least this term, because his brain is just as broken as this guy's. And he thinks that, if anything, he doesn't have to retire till next summer. And I bet you next summer, he'll reevaluate. Or, next May or something, he'll reevaluate. April, he's going to reevaluate whether in July he's going to retire. And I guarantee this man will evaluate his health and then just be like, I think I could kick it another year. This is not that bad. I give my clerks more work. I just, manage and oversee. I can do it for another year. And, I'm confident in my health. And we're just going to have another RBG moment. Breyer's future has been subject to intense speculation in recent months. Liberal activist. No indication he's going to step down. He has most likely retirement window closing for the year in absence of sudden health issues, just as in recent decades have timed their retirement to coincide with the end of the court's term. So it's not necessary. You can retire at any time. This is just practice. And someone who's so invested in the institution of the court and holding up the institutional legitimacy of the court, like Stephen Breyer is, he is not going to deviate from Supreme Court practice. You will not see him retire on an odd timeline, because that's not what the Supreme Court does, and so that's not what Breyer is going to do. Okay. This is just perverted lawyer brain. Absolute perverted lawyer brain. Who's writing this? Greg Storr. Okay. I am familiar with Greg, I believe. Yeah, Harvard Law School. Boop. All right. This is pure, unadulterated, liberal fucking copium. Okay? Influential role. Breyer played an influential role in the just completed term, helping to craft the type of consensus ruling that he favors. He wrote the court's opinions preserving the Affordable Care Act and rejecting a public high school's punishment of a student for a profane social media post. Roberts picks who writes the fucking the opinions. Okay. Breyer played a role, maybe not influential in the way that Greg is understanding it. But Breyer played a role, yeah, in crafting the consensus rulings that not only he favors, but Roberts favors. I want to know the influence Roberts had on Breyer's decision not to step down this term. Or I'd be interested to know. This paragraph's really pulling that home to me, or you're pointing that out. It's not a coincidence that Roberts gave Breyer these two opinions to write, because Breyer is fully on fucking board with Roberts' program. You may disagree. You have to remember, these people may disagree in ideology, but they're just engaging in pseudo-intellectualism, just like fucking debate lords on the internet. And to them, the consequences of their actions are the same as the debate lords on the internet. They think it is of the most consequence, but the littlest consequence at the same time. So again, doesn't surprise me that he's on these cases where a consensus was needed, or Roberts wanted to show the consensus of the court. And that may be why Breyer is here. So his influential role, I guess, is what Greg, the influential role Breyer played is on maintaining the institutional legitimacy of the court. Yeah, and Breyer's is influential in that way, and I think that's actually what Greg was getting at. But he thinks this is positive. I think that's negative. In a speech in April, he underscored the need to keep the court separate from politics, making arguments that suggested little interest in timing his retirement to meet Democrats' political needs. If the public sees judges as politicians in robes, its confidence in the courts and in the rule of law itself can only diminish, Breyer said in the speech sponsored by Harvard Law School. Just going to leave you there with that one for a second, chat. Maybe I'll read it again. Quote from Stephen Breyer: if the public sees judges as politicians in robes, its confidence in the courts and the rule of law itself can only be diminished, Breyer said in the speech sponsored by Harvard Law School. This is just the centrist pervertedness, legal process bullshit that comes out of these schools. Okay? And it's a misguided perception of how the public already sees the justices. There's got to be a study on this. We're doing some on-the-fly research, chat. Okay. Good. All right. So, this woman, Natalie, here, wrote this paper. Expert opinion, trusting the public's perception of our justice system. she's got the right idea in mind. So let's see what she has to say. Public trust and confidence in our government institution is critical to the functioning of our democratic republic. All right, she's like a sock dumb. While members of the public are directly involved in electing, the judicial branch is somewhat removed from direct public engagement. By design, the public has no direct role building out and maintaining the ranks of the federal judiciary. And while there are many states that do have some form of judicial elections, being further down the ballot means these races generally, no one cares about judicial elections except perverted lawyers. Nevertheless, judiciary does not operate in the vacuum separate from the public it serves, but they think that they do. Our independent courts rely on the trust and confidence of the public, and the public has neither. We not only undermine our judicial system, but our democratic system as a whole. Okay. Maybe I'm not. She's fallen a little more liberal than I would like, but I would like to see. I do want to read this later. Let's put that there. No. Okay. Didn't have what I wanted, Natalie. Don't. Let's see. All right. This is from 2011. At the same time, most people do not consider the judiciary to be a politics-free zone. The poll indicates that only a little over 7% of Americans think that the partisan backgrounds of judges has no influences at all on court decisions. Almost 45% of the public believes that judicial partisanship has some influence, and another 42% believe that judicial partisan has a lot of influence. Partisanship, sorry. This is in 2011. Chat. Only 7% in 2011 thought there is no influence on the court. So what the fuck are these idiots? No fucking basis in reality. Absolutely no basis in reality. Okay? We already see judges as politicians in robes. At least in 2011, 54287, right? Yeah, 87% of the populace thought there was at least some influence of politics and partisanship on the judiciary. 87%. It's a fucking B plus. You know, that's a hefty fucking percentage there. And then 10 years later, knowing what we've known about how politics have changed in America in these 10 years. Okay? This 83-year-old wants to say, you know, we're going to lose confidence in the courts. If for years, that 87% has to at least stay stagnant or have only grown in those 10 years. There's no, like, if you were to tell me that it went down significantly, I would say that's fucking sham. Yeah, those are fucking fake numbers. Because there's no way in my mind that over 10 years, knowing the political history of the United States in those past 10 years, even the judicial history of the United States in those past 10 years, no way, absolutely no way, that there's a significant decrease in the understanding of judges as politicians. What? Reported previously, Breyer had hired 4 law clerks. Supreme Court on Friday released their names. Along with those, all other 8 active justices will have 4 law clerks. And what this? I wish I understood this more. This is funny. This is the sentence. Law clerks, typically recent law grads, work for a justice for a year, helping them digest briefs and write opinions. No, they read the briefs and spoon feed them to the justices and completely write the opinions for most. I'm really interested in retired judges still working on the court. There we go. Excuse me. Oh, Robert. Fucking big face there. Hello, Smokey. I've said it once and I'll say it 1,000 times. If you have an age minimum in politics and judiciary appointments, then we should have age maximums. Too many geriatrics running the world like it's the 80s, yeah. But you know what those geriatrics did in the 80s? I think it's in the 80s. Passed the Age Discrimination Act. So, you know, I would assume that they would, barring a constitutional amendment, they're going to use the Age Discrimination Act as an argument to say we can't discriminate on the basis of age on these old geriatric fucks. No, it's only the age discrimination is only over 40. It's how the law's written. Only be discriminated once you're over 40. So 40 is old to them. I got 12 years before I could, 19 years, I'm not 19, 11 years before I could be discriminated against for my age. Okay. This is what I want to find out, if what they do, the retired justice herself. Okay, this is what I want. Connor's role in this case brings attention to a little noticed aspect of the justice's legacy. The work often continues long after leaving the higher court. Justices are appointed for life, but since 1937, they've been allowed to take senior status and continue to serve on lower federal courts. The idea grew out of FDR's ill-fated court packing plan. Well, I guess next time an old lady drives through a red light and I just do the world a favor and don't stop, since I can't discriminate on her age. In Minecraft, though. 25 justices have taken senior status and 11 have served on the lower courts. Some have been more prolific. Wow. Okay. It's what I assumed, but I didn't know that they serve on lower courts. Oh, Neil with the fucking hot pick over here. Changing it up on everyone. Look at that shadowing. This looks like, the hot senior picks that you would take. I'm almost claiming age discrimination and lost your job over the weekend. I'm sitting there like, no, it's not age discrimination. You're just a psycho. All right, so we got 3 associate justices. I honestly thought Sandy was dead. Is she not dead? "91 years old." Totally thought she was dead. All right. All right, I'm done talking about Breyer for the moment. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Oh, in case you missed the chat, Gulf of Mexico's on fire. Just gonna let this loop for a second. It's on fire. I thought this was from a fucking video game. I thought this was a fucking cutscene in a video game. Is it? And I got fucking, I got like rickrolled. Hello, Infowlosopher. Did I say that right? I know, that's what I'm saying. Well, maybe we'll do some more research. Gulf of Mexico on fire. The lighting is off. No, it's apparently real-ish, maybe. "Eye of fire in Mexican waters snuffed out," says National Oil Company. Yeah, okay. "Fire on the ocean surface west of Mexico's Yucatan Peninsula early on Friday has been extinguished," state oil company Penmax says. Can we sue the bastards and get rich? Probably not. I'm just gonna pull up someone's name that sued the bastards and then got fucked and is continued to be fucked by the state and the court system. Yeah, exactly. Litigate you till you're poor and then lock you up on house arrest for, I think he's almost on like 700th day. July 6th, in 3 days, he'll be on his 700th day because he's been in detention, not arrested, not booked for anything, just like in pre-arrest detention. Yeah, no, this fire is something else. Like I said, this felt like, this looks like it's from a video game. Like, what are they even putting it out with? Like, I know law, not science. Like, that's crazy. Not as bad as it looks since it's just surface oil burning, but it's not good. Yeah. I mean, that seems to be why they'd be able to put it out so quickly. How does it have any oxygen? Yeah, I'm going to defer to Smokey, our resident science person, on that one. No injuries reported. Yeah, it was in the middle of the ocean, but we was fucking like, all the indirect injuries of adding more carbon dioxide and shit into the atmosphere and just fucking destroying wildlife habitats in the ocean. Oxygen in the surrounding air, oil is fuel, just needed enough heat to start the reaction. Yeah, I wonder what started it. I'm sure we won't know. For sure, we won't know the actual cause for some time. Mexico's oil safety regulator said on Twitter the incident did not generate any spill. What was burning was on the water's surface. So you were right, Smokey. Likely a spark from the machinery or heat buildup from drilling. Oh, here. The turbo machinery of, I'm not going to pronounce that, active production facilities were affected by an electrical storm and heavy rains. So that seems nitrogen to control the fire. Yeah, we live in a hell world. There was a, let's see if I can pull it up. There's a bunch of memes I saw. We'll get to that one. I just want to see if there's the one with the surfs. This is fine. I think the fire is in a tube and it's surfacing. Yeah, they said it was just on the water's surface. It is fucking wild. Let's look at it.
Joe Manchin, I talk to his office every week, and he is the kingmaker on this because he's a Democrat from West Virginia, which is a very conservative state, and he's not shy about sort of staking his claim early and completely changing the debate. So on the Democrat side, we look for the moderates on these issues. So it's the Manchins, it's the Cinemas, it's the Testers.
Exxon is even trying to get through to President Biden through his friend, Senator Chris Coons.
Other ones that Joe Manchin, I talked to him.
I don't know if anyone saw on Daddy Hassan's stream a couple days ago. He watched this video where this guy here gets duped and thinks that he's getting interviewed for a headhunter or by a headhunter to put his resume out there and find other jobs at other fucking apparently big oil companies, and he's just spilling all the fucking tea. He's just letting it all out. He has no fucking clue. He's being recorded and just fucking duped by this content creator this documentarian that put out a video. It was pretty good, and the original background he had was that Zoom, like fucking the San Fran bridge that all the boomers put up, and he's probably on his fucking phone. So we're getting that Republican like front seat angle view. It's just a green sting operation. They're just too dumb to realize that they're being led on. Yeah. No, I love when Republicans, like conservative reactionaries, get fucking duped like that. They're not savvy in the fucking slightest, in any regard. All right, we're gonna move on from this to some other shittiness. All right, so I prepared some of this the other day. It's a obviously evolving story. Evolving story on the New York City mayor's race. There's obviously the debacle, the Board of Elections fucking botched the enjoy your bagel, Smokey. Like fire can burn underwater. Like I played Tomb Raider and I know napalm makes its own oxygen. That's natural gas, right? I don't know if it was natural gas or just crude oil. No misbehaving while mods are away. I think I could handle the two people in chat. I trust Philosopher and Lucas if he's still hanging around. Okay, so New York City mayor's race. 4 people, big time. I know. I'm up to, though my follower count on Streamlabs is only showing 9. I do have 11, so like a fifth of the way there to being able to make money. All right, New York City's mayor's race. Board of Elections fucked up. They counted 12. They counted the images of 135,000 test votes for the ranked choice voting. And then we're like, we fucked up. All those votes that Eric Adams got, he might not have gotten. Which is interesting. I haven't seen in any of my up to 5 viewers, it says. Anyone has a link with like how those test ballots were filled out, because I have a feeling that Adams got a lot of those votes because they just like went down the line of ranked choice by alphabetical order, and so Adams was first. I don't think that the BOE has released anything that I've seen about it. So on Wednesday, right, we'll jump. This was on like Monday or Tuesday that the shit went down. So then on Wednesday, we're narrowing the lead. So let's see if there's where that breakdown was. Hold on. I had a good breakdown of how it was going to work. Okay. Where the fuck did it go? Is it Gothamist that broke it down? Whatever. Let's look at this. Let's start here. So, long story short. There's about 125,000 absentee ballots left to count. After the preliminary tally, it's the Vox article. It's literally right here. I'm just a fucking idiot. Okay. So they did a really good job of breaking down the ranked choice vote. And they tend to be good on shit like this. Kind of educating people on how it works. So I think they did a good job of how the eliminations work here. So we're going to go through it. So after they took out the 135,000 and we got the preliminary tally, Adams goes from, I think he was like in the 40s or something. There's a big gap. He's at 35% of the vote. So we got Maya Wiley trailing by like 9. Catherine Garcia trailing Wiley by 3% and 12 behind Adams, and then Yang down here with nothing. So the way it works is in the ranked choice voting, they're going to take the top 4 and eliminate the rest. That's the first round. So now you're eliminating until you get 1. Okay, and hopefully that 1 gets has over 50% of the vote. Or I guess 50.01. So Yang gets eliminated. So now we're down to just Adams, Wiley, and Garcia, and we see that Garcia bumps up to second here, and it's not showing it in the order, but you got to look at the percentage here. She bumps up to second, and Fox attributes that to the Yang Garcia alliance that was kind of formed towards the end of the race, in the waning week of the mayoral race, before the primary. So that helps boost Garcia a bit, and she's got 1% over Wiley. So unfortunately, Wiley's eliminated there. Okay, And a lot more people ranked Wiley and Garcia 1, 2. So Garcia picks up a shit ton of Wiley votes. It makes it a very close race. So what it may come down to are those 125,000 absentee ballots, and how those people voted. And I don't know enough about the demographics of New York City voters, like how they vote absentee versus in person. I would fathom to guess, based on national trends, that older people are going to make up more of that 125,000. And I'm losing more and more hope that Garcia will get any of those, and it'll just be largely Adams getting pumped up by those 125,000 numbers. So it may honestly look exactly like the original count, because they took out those 135,000, which largely went to Adams, and you're just adding in 125,000, which most likely is going to go Adams as well. So we'll see what happens there. All right, some good quotes. Oh, so here's the absentee ballot. Oh, so I did want to talk about this. So New York Times is analyzing it that, okay, sure, Garcia got the most in-person votes in districts with absentee ballots, or whatever this says. I just botched it. But I don't think that necessarily means that they're going to go Garcia. Like I said, it matters on what the population of people that submitted absentee ballots are, and how the breakdown of race and it's interesting. See, you can't even look at this and say, like, okay, well, that's largely, these areas are largely white. Sure. And if those are the people that win election day, sure, those are who they're going to go Garcia more than Adams in these areas. But you forget that there are minority communities in these areas. It's not just white. 125,000 absentee ballots is not a significant number. It's not insignificant, but I'm gonna. My take is that Adams gets most of those absentee ballots, and we end up with the same breakdown that we originally had when the BOE fucked up. Trump obviously weighed in, because why not? This is perfect for him, It's that Democratic-run state fucking up the elections again, and doing it on purpose. I don't know why he would care about the Democratic primary being fucked up. It would just be like the Democrats cucking themselves. Because there's only like 2 candidates in the Republican primary, and this guy. Founder of the Guardian Angels. The Guardian Angels, for non-New Yorkers, like founded in the 80s, I believe, at like the height of New York crime and community distrust in the police at that time for stopping crime. So this guy founded the Guardian Angels, and they would, and you still see some of them today because they're still around. Just the presence is not as big. But they were just a group. They would wear these red jackets. Obviously, their affiliation was not with the Communist Party, and nor was it ever. This guy's the founder and like the figurehead of them for years. So they wear those caps. They wear like shiny red bomber jackets. They guardian angels and have like wings on them and like nightsticks and shit like on their person, and they fucking travel up and down the subway cars fucking protecting people. So there's fucking like vigilantes and pieces of shit. Yeah, and Adams, like, this is a pretty good response. I mean, well, except for like this, Orange Man bad part. What's 07, Benny Box? Hello, good morning, by the way. Chat, we got a mod back. You got to be on your best behavior. I was gonna say, other than this, like, Orange Man bad, this is true. The BOE discrepancies were addressed immediately. There's no similar issues in November. It wasn't a scam. It's a salute. That makes sense. Cool, I like that. It was just, not that the BOE, I'm not defending the BOE in any way, but like, against the Trump attack of like every election is a scam. And, we're going to continue to see this over and over again of Republicans using this rhetoric. This was just another opportunity for them to do so. All right, done with the mayor's race. It's boring me. New York City mayor doesn't do anything anyways except get made fun of. All right, we're going to cover the two opinions that the last two opinions of the Supreme Court's Supreme Court's current term. And yeah, okay. So the first one was voting rights case. Really fucking shitty on 6-3 party lines. Again, I'm going to call them the Democrats and Republicans because they are politicians, even though they are justices of the court. They act as such. So not surprising on the voting rights. Yeah, neither of the Arizona's restrictions violate the voting rights. All right, I'm going to take out my notes here. All right. This is what we're going to do, chat. We'll come back to Mark Joseph Stern. We don't need that. Let's start with Amy Howitt's SCOTUS blog. Don't stand SCOTUS blog, but it's always like a decent place to start and critique their lib-brain, lawyer pervertedness. So we're gonna ignore this fucking cheesiness. All right, so the Arizona legislature passed two voting provisions. One is a policy that requires an entire ballot to be thrown away if it was cast at the wrong precinct, while the other is a state law that bars the collection of ballots by third parties, sometimes dubbed ballot harvesting. So this article is being written before the decision came out. This article is from like March, when there was oral arguments in the case. So we're just going to use this kind of for the background. so you can understand what's going on. So the question was whether these practices violated Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act, which bans racial discrimination in voting. If so, what standard that would be. So there's the out-of-precinct policy and ballot harvesting. And statistically, these policies affect minority communities, and you could see why here. Ballot harvesting. This is a bad faith, malicious term to use for something that's very benign. Think of church communities, someone in the community going around to the elders in the community and gathering their ballots for them, or throwing a community gathering excuse me, at the church where they're gonna gather the absentee ballots, where people could fill them out, things like that. It's usually community organizations, and it's usually in communities of color. One of the reasons is because their access to voting is diminished historically. And that's the reason for the Voting Rights Act and Section 2 specifically. As Kagan points out in the dissent, Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act is one of the best pieces of legislation. It's kind of like hyperbolic, I guess, or hyperbole. It's not really one of the best, but it's a good piece of legislation, but it's really shitty that we need it. It did serve, or does serve, a solid purpose, but the fact that we have to have that in place is ridiculous, and we see why here. So you're banning ballot harvesting. One of the reasons you have ballot harvesting is elderly people voting absentee or mail-in voting because they're elderly, and typically the districts, these are just heavily gerrymandered districts throughout the country, and so getting to a polling place may be difficult, and that, or going to the right polling place. And that gets to the other issue of the out-of-precinct policy. So out-of-precinct policy, our governments, our system typically does not do a good job of educating people where they need to go to vote. It's purposely made difficult, so someone may wait in line hours to vote, end up at the wrong precinct by mistake, and that should be fine. Who gives a fuck? That happens. So they may not have time to wait in line another fucking 2 hours. So, they're going to cast their vote there instead of going to the other precinct, or the proper precinct. So they're just losing a vote. It's a way to turn down voters. And the argument is that these are racially discriminatory practices, essentially because the result is that that minorities, it makes it more difficult for minority communities to vote. So we'll go through this a bit and see how it lands. And we obviously know how it lands. 6-3, the Republicans saying, no, these laws are perfectly okie dokie. So this is an Alito opinion. Alito opinions are always fun because he's a terrible writer and just fucking idiot. So he writes this decision. So they're looking at whether on its face the practices are discriminatory, and essentially, and they obviously come on the side that they're not. And their argument is that it's like the intent of the legislature, and there was no racial intent to particularly ban these ban these practices that are going to affect minority communities. And just because the result ends up looking racist doesn't mean that it's racist. So, it's not racist. It didn't violate the Voting Rights Act. And you could continue to prohibit those practices. So, just something I hate in Alito opinions that he constantly does is he begins with an anecdote and tries to make things seem common sense. So, where is it? Fuck, I thought it was up here. Alright, well, I can't find the exact quote. But he talks down to the dissent. Just like he's very just a little child. So he just goes through a ton of history, and this goes back to what I was talking about before. Is like they're creating new realities or differing and competing realities with their histories, and just trying to rewrite the past. And it's something Scalia was a mastermind of, and this court has continued to practice. Scalia's decision in Heller v. DC or DC versus Heller, I always forget the order, is a prime example of that rewriting of history and just poor practice of history. So he goes through equal protection, he goes through the 15th Amendment, some bullshit arguments, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So this is all just bullshit. History. He analyzes the text at some point, as you would with a piece of legislation. What? This is where he's analyzing the text, excuse me. Okay. This is what I want to get to. Talked about that. Alright. So he says that, decline in this case to create a test behave, return my bacon, egg, and cheese. You're making me fucking hungry. That's what I should have ordered, is a hangover bacon, egg, and cheese. I'm trying not to eat so shitty because I ate so much fast food last weekend, an absorbent amount. I had oh, fuck, I can't think of the name of it now. Started with an S. Z. Zaxby's. I had Zaxby's twice for the first time. Fucking incredible, man. That was a fucking chicken sandwich, man. Whew. And then just had a ton of Mickey D's. But when I was in Cheshire, I got Frankie's, Popeyes, Mr. B's, Arby's, or Ray and Mike's. Yeah, that's like, there you go. That's the trifecta. I haven't had Frankie's in a while. Or Ray and Mike's. I'd go for Ray and Mike's. Yeah, we gotta stop because I'm just like salivating over the thought of a steak and cheese from Ray and Mike's. Okay, so Alito says he's not going to yeah. Glenwood hot dogs, I'd have to say, are a little better than Frankie's because they're just grilled to perfection, and they're also Hummel's hot dogs, which best hot dogs in the country. No fucking argument. So he goes through these. He says, you know, we're not going to create a test. We're not going to have a test that is going to be used for similar cases. Well, there's a lot of topping choices at Glenwood. It just nothing beats Frankie's fucking relish, though. That relish is something else. So I think it's pickles and peppers. Whew. That barcade we went to that one time had the best hot dogs and tots. Did I take you to Criff Dog? What? If that's what you're talking about, they have some good. Yeah. Criff Dog. Yeah, theirs are good because, So we're gonna get sidetracked from Supreme Court news, and we'll talk about hot dogs. All beef hot dogs, fuck that shit. Okay, can't have an all beef hot dog. It's fucking gross. It repeats on you. It's nasty. Okay. All right. Sorry. Hot take. Hot take alert. All beef hot dogs suck. Hummel's all pork. Fantastic. They have a nice mix of pork. It's light. It's good. It doesn't repeat on you. I'm a big fan of actually the only all beef hot dog I'll eat, and I believe they're all beef, and if not, they are mixed, is Gray's Papaya. But to me, that's like a different type of hot dog. But, you know, you're going to grill a hot dog in your backyard. It's going to be Hummel's. And the reason that Criff Dog is so good, and they have a lot of different like fancy toppings and you get funky with it, and that's great. But the hot dog itself is like it's like a big bite, juicy, like fucking sausage. And it's half pork, half beef. And that's, especially with a big one, you can't have an all, like the Costco all beef hot dogs. It's like that size, but it doesn't repeat on you like that shit does. Yeah, Hummel's doesn't exist here either. There is a Massachusetts hot dog that is similar to Hummel's. And I believe that it is half pork, half beef. And I can't for the life of me think of the name. But it is a good alternative if you're not in Connecticut. But yeah, that's sad. Because there's nothing like a good hot dog. You can't just have any fucking hot dog. Like, fuck Nathan's. I'm sorry. Fuck it. And like, you're buying Nathan's and you're calling that a hot dog. Get the fuck out of here. It's not a hot dog. All right, so back to the case. Stop distracting me with hot dogs. No, there's a burger place in Montpelier I go to. It's like a Five Guys, but their hot dogs are really good, and they get confused when I order them. Yeah, you're probably the only person ordering a fucking hot dog there. That you are? Yeah, I'm sure. Five Guys doesn't have hot dogs, right? I don't think they do. It's Shake Shack that has the hot dogs. which I've never had either. I was disappointed in my dad. I was talking to someone. We were talking about hot dogs last night, and they do have hot dogs. Okay. Yeah, you're right. They do. I was talking to someone last night about hot dogs, and I was saying how my dad, like anywhere in the tri-state area, you name a fucking hot dog place, he probably knows it. And then I sent him a name of a hot dog place, and he didn't know it, and I was disappointed. Okay, so Blackies. Hold on, I was thinking of Blackies when you were saying Frankie's. But I was getting them confused. Blackies has the good relish. I mean, I'm sure Frankie's does as well, but I was thinking the Blackies relish with they do pickle and pepper, and it's just like in a big vat. Yeah. But the one that I was thinking of when I said it was Blackies, because I was thinking of the fuck was that coach's name that owned it? He was my boss when I lifeguarded too. Yeah. He was my boss for a while when I was a lifeguard. I can't think of his fucking name. Yeah. He would bring like relish and shit, and we'd put that on the Holiday Hill hot dogs, because they were Hummel's hot dogs, but specially made for Holiday Hill. Which actually I think they stopped doing recently. And actually Blackies I think changed and are not Hummel's either, because they used to have special made Hummel's hot dogs for them, and they may have moved away from them, and one may be making their own. That's fucking blast from the past. All right, so Alito gives these factors that, because part of Section 2B in the Voting Rights Act, Section 2A outlines what that you can't discriminate based on race, blah blah blah. 2B tells you how to prove that. So it's considering the totality of the circumstances. So Alito goes through these different circumstances, which, these aren't the set circumstances or the factors you necessarily have to use. And he says here, it's not compiling an exhaustive list, but just important factors that may be mentioned. But the only ones that he lists here are just like what you'd expect. So the size of the burden, he says the absence of obstacles and burdens that block or seriously hinder voting, and therefore the size of the burden imposed by a voting rule is important. So he's looking at the burden, and he says, there's other ways for enjoy your sandwich. There's other ways for them to vote. So you're not hindering it, it's just like hindering their choice. And this is where he going, is it into the next one? He really gets shitty, and he says there's 2 points that need to be complied with. Right? So the law needs to be equally open to all. Voting needs to be equally open to all. So anything that is going to eliminate that openness would violate Section 2. And then the same with equal opportunity. There needs to be equal opportunity in voting, or you violate Section 2. Okay, simple, all right? We'll get back to that later because Alito does some funky little move. So then he says, and this is my absolute favorite. because this is just like, reactionary bread and butter. So we're looking at the degree to which a voting rule departs from what was standard practice when Section 2 was amended in 1982 is relevant. So he already established earlier that every voting rule imposes some sort of burden. It's a certain day, certain time, a manner in which you have to vote. There's burdens there that are necessary and are tolerable. So he says, okay, well, what is our benchmark of what is tolerable? Well, let's look back to this is your originalism at its finest. So we're looking at and this is a mixture of, I guess it is just truly originalism, in that we're looking at what the practices of the time and what people of the time thought. So at that time, it says, therefore, it is relevant that in 1982, states typically required nearly all voters to cast their ballots in person on election day and allowed only narrow and tightly defined categories of voters to cast absentee ballots. This section is going to have some longevity. Okay. And if this is not transparent to the Republican mission of limiting, and this is fucking circular and nonsensical. Okay. The voting practices in 1982 were not great. Hence the need for Section 2 of the Voting Rights Act. So, how are you going to look at the practices from when the law was established that the law is supposed to remedy? You can't make the problem the solution. So, this is clearly just going at the heart of the Republican conservative legal movement and political movement of just limiting voting rights. And this is, and limiting mail-in voting and limiting it to just that one day in person. And they're going to continue using this dicta for some time to come. So then we're looking at the size of the disparities. So he pretty much says, if only a few black people can't make it to the polls, that's fine. Alito's like, yeah, that's cool. It's whatever. It's a statistical anomaly. We don't have to worry about it. That's pretty much all he had to say here. He's like, we don't care about a few black people. And then he moves on. Consider the opportunities provided by a state's entire voting system when assessing the burden imposed by a challenge provision. This is funny because actually, let's go back here. Small disparities are less likely than larger ones to indicate the system is not equally open. To the extent that minority and non-minority groups with respect to employment, wealth, and education, even neutral regulations, no matter how crafted, may well result in some predictable disparities in the rates of voting and non-compliance with voting rules. So he says, literally what the Voting Rights Act was meant to protect or meant to correct for, or could be used to correct for the existing disparities in wealth and education that limit access to voting, because everyone should have a fucking right to vote. And I'm not defending electoralism in any way, but like, everyone should have the right to vote if that's our system. And so if you're saying we have these disparities already, we're not going to correct them, we're just going to let them perpetuate and exist, like, that is going against the heart of the Voting Rights Act. And then 4 is fucked up because of what we have in 2, where he wants to look to 82 and limit it essentially to these narrow categories. So you come down to 4 and, you know, it's talking about the entire voting system, but, you know, that's again going to change. And I guess that's why that's the totality of the circumstances is going to change case by case. The less, you know, the more you chip away at the opportunities to vote and limit it to just in-person voting. You need things like ballot harvesting or out of precinct voting to provide more opportunities when you're limiting it. But he doesn't want that. Okay. And then this is just mask off. You gotta, I guess maybe not mask off. So you gotta read into it a bit. He says, finally, the strength of the state's interests served by challenging voting rules is also an important factor that must be taken into account. As noted, every voting rule imposes a burden. Based on the totality of the circumstance, whether a rule goes too far, it's important to consider the reason for the rule. And as long as it is not racial on its face, she says something. At one point, he says that the debate over mail-in sparked by one senator is inflamed partisanship. He's arguing that partisanship or partisan motives aren't the same as racial motives. So as long as it's facially neutral and applies to everyone in theory, quote unquote, the reason for the rule, true reason, could be hidden. And like argue anything is going to serve state interests, strengthen the state interest by limiting voting when you have chuds chanting from the mountaintops about voting fraud and whether the populace believes that or not, or you know the liberals fight against that. That's something that's going to bleed into our politics and policies, and you're going to see. I think you're going to see number 5 come up a lot. So we're going to read Mark Joseph Stern's tweet here, and he cut out a relevant portion of the dissent because honestly, I don't think the dissent is worth reading. I started reading it this morning, and I think it was like 13 pages before Kagan gets to any analysis. It's like a 40-page decision. And like I said, it's just these longer decisions, and they just need a stream. They just want to shout at each other. But he says, so Kagan dissenting, the majority fears that the statute Congress wrote is too radical. that it will invalidate too many state voting laws, so the majority writes its own set of rules, limiting Section 2 from multiple directions. Here's the kicker. The court has no right to remake Section 2. Maybe some think that vote suppression is a relic of history, and so the need for a potent Section 2 has come and gone. But Congress gets to make that call. Because it has not done so, this court's duty is to apply the rule of law as it is written. The law that confronted one of America's most enduring wrongs, pledged to give every American of every race an equal chance to participate in our democracy, and now stands as a crucial tool to achieve that goal. That law, of all laws, deserves the sweep and power Congress gave it. That law, of all laws, should not be diminished by this court. Like, in theory, that this here could be the dissent, because this is the heart of it. This is really the heart of it. And we're done with Supreme Court news. All right, chat. I'm going to take a pee break. Maybe grab something to eat. And I'll be back in like 5 minutes or so. 5-10 minutes. And I will decide whether to watch this Legal Eagle Free Britney video and talk about that for a bit, or if I just play some Fallen Order. So again, I will be right back. Stick around. If you're in chat, grab yourself a bevy, take a tinkle, do what you got to do, and I'll be right back. Hello, chat. I'm back. I will be playing Jedi Fallen Order, but I forgot to capture it. Nope. It's not what I want. It's not gonna, oh, here we go. Boom. All right. Let me just move you down here. Cool. All right. I'm gonna play some Fallen Order. Let me edit this. There we go. Some more Lefty legal news later. Fallen Order for now. Change this to Fallen Order. Sure. Cool. Updating stream. Successful. Close. All right. I just started playing this, chat. I'm like in the opening scene. We're about to be like flying down. We'll just see.
You okay? Cal! I can't climb up! Rob! Just hang on! Consume me! No, don't let go!
Does anyone know who voices Prop? The voice sounds familiar.
No!
What was choppy? The game? Yeah, it was running slow.
You okay, bro?
Or like weird at first.
Just pin down! All right, let's go! I'll get us out of here. Just hang on.
Yeah, I know the game was. And I know why. 1 second. No, get me out of the game. God damn it. All right. Running too much shit at once. You should be good. All right, let me know if it continues. It should be good now. The settings it picked for my GPU, I was surprised at. It put me at like epic 60 frames per second, but I lowered the graphics to high and put the max at 90. Play around, see what happens.
This thing is barely flying.
Because yeah, it was choppy on, like the game itself was choppy on my end when it was choppy for you.
You all right?
Yeah. Okay,
We gotta move. Come on.
Hell happened.
Is this the first time you're seeing a run through, Smokey, of Fallen Order?
Well, that was the Force, wasn't it?
Just forget what you saw, okay? Please trust me.
I've seen the stories. I've heard it.
So the reason I'm replaying this
I know.
is I'm gonna lower it. The reason I'm replaying this is because I know the seen bits and pieces here and there. I know the fighting is similar to like From Software type fighting, and if I want to play Dark Souls, I wanted to get used to something that was a little more baby game. I watched Fighting Cowboy play most of it. Word.
You holding up okay?
Good. Yeah, you?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, it is like
Cal,
it is Sekiro inspired.
I've been working with you some time now. I've never seen you do anything.
Ted Cruz is the fucking Zodiac killer. You're right, Addy
We've been through some hell
105.
together. So,
Ted Cruz is a fucking pig animal. Yo, Addy 105.
I don't know how to repay you.
Oops, sorry, fanfic stream.
I mean it.
Oh, you don't have to worry
Fanfic
about
stream.
me. This
Yo,
place-
Addy, throw me a follow. I'd really appreciate it. Working my way to my 50 followers, get a affiliate, make some fucking money.
Disappeared.
That's my show for the day.
Back to my place, grab my bag. Tappers owes me a favor.
I heard he was up on Mount Shadow.
Yeah. You won't be seeing me for a while, Prof.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Yo,
Okay, Cal.
when this had the cutscene on Epic, the graphics were pretty fucking cool. The hair was crazy to me. It's still, even on high, like the detail they got in the hair, I was excited about. Hold up, chat. Something just happened with my desk. Hold on. We're Gucci. I just knocked something over. Yeah, I decided that I'm going to play one of each of From Software games per month leading up to Elden Ring. That's dope. Yeah, that's why I bought Dark Souls. I might have bought all three because they were on sale. I at least bought the first one to start playing. Yeah, I needed to wanted to play this combat to kind of get used to the deflecting and dodging and all that shit because it's very similar. Addy, I'm disappointed in you. I didn't get a follow.
Prof? Prof, wait up.
So I'm doing Demon Souls in July, Dark Souls Challenge run in August. Oh, I was hitting the wrong button. Dark Souls 2 September, 3 October, Bloodborne November, Sekiro December. Yeah, because you gotta put Sekiro last because you're just playing that a bit recently. Sekiro will just be going for different endings. Trippy. This game was pretty good. I think it was a little underrated. It didn't have much replayability or much to play after the main story.
Apprentice, mark well.
It launched poorly, yeah.
Trust only in the Force.
And I was really hoping for like a DLC or something.
Yeah, something's going on.
Everybody up. Identification ready.
What video game has not launched poorly recently?
Line up.
Yeah, exactly.
Contraband inspection.
Talking about that on Lucid stream the other day. like EA should literally just stick to like making FIFA. Okay, Ratchet and Clank. That's fair. They had a good release. Yeah, EA should make FIFA games and FIFA games only and call it a day. I think this is the first game I've played on higher than 60-second frame rate with like I think it was like averaging around 80.
Yes, second, sister.
What a fucking difference. 60
a dangerous fugitive.
60 and up.
No common anarchist, but a devotee.
Insomniac is honestly one of the better developers when it comes to releasing finished product and supporting it with free updates, yeah.
Failure to turn over this traitor will result in a charge of sedition. Turn yourself in, or everyone present shall face summary execution.
I think it's time someone came forward. I've been working on this heap a long time. Way before the war. We refit and rebuilt ships. Best in the galaxy. Then came the Empire. And engineers became scrappers. The workers, they just started getting worked.
Prof.
We all know the truth. We're just too afraid to say it. To the Empire, we're all just expendable.
Yes, you are.
No!
Look at this. A lightsaber.
I found the Jedi!
Choppy there. I view frame rate in tiers. I don't mind 30 SPF if it's stylized and beautiful, smooth. 60 with ray tracing is my standard, and then like 120 and up is where I tend to stop noticing the difference. Yeah, the cutscene slideshow is a slideshow on my end. Yeah. Oh, that whole cutscene was coming in bad? What do I do to fix that? Fuck. $6,000. That's what the output setting is on. I'll tell you in a second. Oops. Stream manager. On Twitch, it's saying, no, that's what I'm looking at now. It's coming in steady and it's at 6,000. 6,000 kbps. I'll play some more and watch to see if it dips while I'm playing. My output resolution is 1080-60. And I'll tell you my internet speed right now. I can't drop it right now while Streamlabs is running. It won't let me change the settings. I'm getting lower than I should on my internet speed, but it's still 15. Upload. Yeah, right around 15 upload. Maybe someone was downloading something in the background. No, unless people are stealing my Wi-Fi. Unless like EA is downloading something I don't know about. Do I need to have this open? No. Okay. Shut Discord off. Alright, let's see what happens now. I closed pretty much everything. That was just choppy for me, even in the fucking game.
Hold it! Don't move! How'd you get here?
God damn it. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Should dynamic resolution scaling be on? And should I have VSync on?
Easy now.
Got a stowaway.
Hey, you don't need to call this in.
How did someone sneak in? Hear that over the comm? A Jedi? Stay sharp. They won't get past us. The traitor! Blast them! There he goes! Contact confirmed. Shoot to kill. I got your sign. Converge on the target. Stormtrooper down. I can see. I sealed the cargo door.
i5 10 Gen and AMD 5500 or sorry, AMD RX 5500 GPU.
One way out.
Ah, I hit the wrong button.
Gotta keep moving.
Is it still choppy?
I chose to rest instead. That's how I prepare.
That's how you prepare for death. Rest when you're dead, Stormtrooper. Eyes up!
I bet I could beat it. That's a hit! I'll drop you!
God damn it.
What's his lightsaber?
I can beat him.
Stay down!
God damn it.
Don't get back up. Don't get back up.
No, it's good now. You're not going to be able to stream and play a high frame rate at the same time, yeah. No, I figured.
You'll slip eventually.
Some of the finishing moves are pretty dope.
Who's over there? Jedi! Just you and me, Jedi!
Yep, you're dead. So are you. Cool.
The fugitive comes this way. I'm ready for it.
You were not ready for me. I've been playing the Switch so much that I need to keep looking at the fucking buttons to make sure I'm not using Switch controls. Hello, boys.
Let's get him! He's moving! Hurry, catch him! We'll vanquish you! Hurry, end it! Hold on now, Jedi. You're swift, aren't you?
No, not really. It's like a good game and I like it a lot. I have a hard time with it. Was his lightsaber weird for you?
Whoa, no! Need cover. Now.
I'm sprinting.
Faster.
He's here. I'm ready for your traitor.
His own fucking ship killed him. That's hilarious.
You shot the coupling out. Gotta get down. Ah! Ah! No.
Am I climbing up?
Whoa! This is bad. Only way is up.
I see that.
We're here to help!
Who are you?
No time! Keep moving! We'll pick you up when we can!
It looked like the Falcon for a second. I know it wasn't.
Adversary inbound.
Ah.
Attack the enemy.
What now? Train stop?
Going into the cutscenes, it's even choppy for me. Again.
Oh, this can't be good.
Not good at all. If you weren't a Jedi, this would just be terrifying.
Hold on!
CrossFit. Oh, that would just be a both those hits just devastating. Just so many cracked ribs. Like Jedi or not, you know? Oh, it's one of the advanced ties. Even on the medium settings, the graphics are pretty good.
I recognize that stance. Perhaps you had some training after all. Who was your master, Padawan? Someone I killed, perhaps? What Jedi gave their life so that you might live?
Fuck you.
Better than I thought. This is too easy.
Wrong button.
You can't run forever.
Fuck. Keep hitting the switch buttons. Hitting the wrong B. Can you pair your Switch Pro controller with the PC? I mean, probably. I'm getting used to it. It's just in this fight.
Get on board!
Oh, you can. Yeah. Oh, I like my new Xbox controller. It's got nice grips on it. I got like the nice fucking bumps. On Steam, will the B be the Switch Pro B? Terrifying. Oh, interesting. Okay. Maybe I'll do that later.
Okay, shut that thing off and grab some seat.
It maps to the controller inputs. Okay.
Thanks for the help. But who are you people?
My name is Sir Junda, and this is my captain, Grease Dritus.
How you doing? Yeah, the manager's my ship, but you better pay attention to
Just
this.
thinking about using my DualSense controller with my PC.
Who are you?
Cal.
Yeah.
Kestis. Who was that back there?
Just giving out his
Imperial
government
Inquisitor.
very easily.
She's a Force user hunting Jedi survivors. And now that she knows who you are, she will not stop until she destroys you.
How do you know so much? And why'd you help me?
We track Imperial communications. We heard the Inquisitors were heading to Brock. So we made our move.
Oh, yeah? Well, what's the bounty on Jedi these days anyway?
That's gratitude for you.
Look, I get it. You've been surviving on your own for so long
Excuse me.
that it's impossible to trust anyone. And it's what's kept you alive. But this is about something bigger than just surviving.
Like what?
Like rebuilding the Jedi Order.
You too? Anybody else?
Oh, we're not good enough for you?
The Jedi Council?
They're gone.
Hello, hello.
I'm all you've got.
Captain, set a course for Bogano.
Aye.
In the meantime, try and relax.
Oh, wow.
Go, you're safe.
Hello, hello. Okay, now it's working again. I got a notice on Streamlabs, or a notification. 87% skipped frames during that cutscene a little while ago.
You gotta move on and live your
My
life.
bitrate is not
Find your
dropped
destiny.
much. We're good. No.
Calico! You were talking in your sleep. Weirdo.
Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, that'd be super bougie buying the Xbox Pro. Alright, I'm muting myself for a second. I got the Xbox Core with the USB-C. It's nice. I mean, obviously don't like as much as the Switch Pro. That controller is very nice. Let me know if it's a slideshow again. It's a little choppy on my end. Wow, the lag is pretty bad. What is he, a bard? What have I been playing on the Switch? I've just, god damn it, frames skipped again. 25%.
That's all.
I've been playing a shit ton of Pokemon, and I just got Let's Go
Years
Pikachu.
ago.
So I might even stream that later. But I've just been playing a lot of Pokemon, and then I was playing Sunshine
Force from the object.
a bit.
Many Jedi have that skill.
How would you know that?
I was once a Jedi, but not anymore.
Do I know you?
No. But I knew your master, Jaro
I have a
Takal.
Pokeball controller.
He was a
Thought
true
about it.
guardian of the Republic.
He was a hero. Listen. Something happened to me during the purge.
It's goofy, but such
I
a fun
survived,
way to play Let's Go, yeah.
My connection to the Force is damaged. When I meditate, if I let my guard down, I lose control. And it's like I'm back in that moment when...
You survived, Cal. And you're not alone. Not anymore.
We're coming up on our destination.
Hashtag resistance. I feel like Danny DeVito should have voiced the captain. God damn, fucking... Should I have VSync off, and should I have dynamic resolution scaling on? Tech support Smokey. Go. Oops. Yeah. Let's try this. See what happens.
This is Bogano. A Jedi I knew discovered it before the Purge. You won't find it on any maps.
The Empire doesn't know this place exists?
No.
So, what's the plan? Will you hide out here?
We're done hiding, Cal. See that structure over there? I believe that vault holds the key to rebuilding the Jedi Order. But it requires someone strong in the Force to pass its test.
And since you're not a Jedi anymore, that's why you need me.
I know you don't trust me. And I'm not really sure I trust you. But we have a common enemy. And a common cause. I'll share more of my plan after you reach the vault. But... until then, there's someone here I think you should meet. May the Force be with you.
Yeah. No, she's a terrifying character. Just like they
I'm looking for
did not a
Jedi
good
then.
job with her.
But if there's already one here, why does Seer need me?
I have a skill point. Can I fucking use it? Dead. Yeah, just drop your yeah. Is the CPU the problem or the graphics card? That's the issue.
This looks like a safe place to meditate. Just need to focus my mind.
I forgot this is where. Your CPU doesn't have that many cores. Your GPU is also probably feeling it too. Yeah. I would really like to just get a new CPU. This may be a project I ask you about on our podcasters retreat.
Hey, BD1.
Do you think my laptop would
Cal.
stream games better?
Yeah, I'm okay. I'm looking for someone. No, not you. I'm searching for a Jedi, I think. Hold on. You know the Jedi? What do you know? Wait, hold on. Did you just slice that? Thanks.
No.
That's the vault Seer mentioned. Whoever I'm supposed to find must be waiting there.
That's what I figured, but I work in a 2 PC setup. I don't know what that means. Game on the desktop and stream it from the laptop. Okay. God damn it.
I sense something over here.
I mean, I honestly, at that point, I would just,
That's a really big bug.
game from my Xbox. Oh, why can't I wall run?
after boggling eggs in the pack fought back.
Yeah, treat it like a second PC. I wonder if my Game Pass save file will go over to the PC to the Xbox, even though I've played this game and I have the disc. Or honestly, like, I haven't gotten that far. I could just start over when I play this. Has it been dropping more frames? I got 2 notifications here. 25%. Yeah. I wish that I could change the stream settings midstream. So I can move over to 720. It's really just, yeah, the cutscenes are the worst.
No way through here. Guess that's why BD1 warned me. All right, maybe I'll listen to you next time.
This not having the double jump yet is killing me. That was just rough. Definitely dropped some frames
Any ideas?
there.
Gotta get across this gap somehow.
Yep, there.
Zipline?
It's doing it.
Whoa! How'd you know that would work? Wait.
Alright. I think I'll call it there then, so I could fuck around with the settings. I might stream later. I gotta eat something. And I want to figure this out. So, thank you all for joining me today. Smokey, I will catch your stream when you're on. Let me know. Lucas, if you're still lurking, eat a hot dog, I wish. Lucas, if you're still lurking, have a nice day. I'll be on in the afternoon. Okay, I will see you in the afternoon then. More Demon Souls. Yes, I would actually really like to watch you play that, so I definitely will come check that out. Is there anyone I could raid? Smokey, stay in the chat so we could raid someone with you. Yeah, here we go. Nah, fuck that. We're not going to raid with the one person. All right. I will... Oh, I feel trapped. No, I will free you. All right, I will see everyone later. Smokey, I'll see you in your stream. Everyone have a nice day. Stay safe. Stay dry. Stay cool. Bye-bye.